Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy hump day. Yes, it's Wednesday. Welcome to the Wednesday live stream here on Crypto Coin Mindset. I am Keith, and as always, I am here to help you get your mindset on crypto. I really appreciate everybody being here today. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick that bell icon, click the all. That way you get notified every time I go live. And go live right now on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, 10 a.m., Friday, 7 p.m., Crypto on the Rocks. We'll talk more about that later. Tuesdays, the Money Matrix podcast live on that channel. Link to that is in the description of this live stream. So make sure you go ahead over there. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Join myself, Crypto Jar, and Financial Failure over there talking crypto every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And be on the lookout. I'm working with Brian from Tiny Crypto Blog to try and put something else out with him. So more's coming. More's coming. And don't forget, smash the likes up. Come on, smash the likes. I appreciate that very much. So yeah, what are we doing today? Well, first thing I'm doing is having a sip of coffee. I know this isn't Crypto on the Rocks, but like, if it were, I'd probably be having a beer. But anyway, I need some coffee. So there you go. Cheers. The irony is I've about finished the pot at this point. I've been at it for hours doing stuff today. But today is basically going to be a continuation of Monday's live stream where we talked about, well, I started out telling you about how banks were unable to complete customer deposits at the end of last Friday, and there were delays in that. To me, just the next in the cracks and holes coming in the traditional banking system. And then into where we are with people, just like Bitcoin's come so far in the last, since its inception, the white paper hitting in 2008 and the first mining in 2009. Here we are. What is that? 14 years later and 15 years later, whatever it is. Math. Anyway. And come so far. Now we have another major investment firm, money manager, putting to bed some of the FUD about Bitcoin. So we're going to get to that. We're going to talk about some other things going on with Bitcoin. I'll show you a couple of examples, people using Bitcoin to buy stuff, etc. And then we're going to take a look at the curve of adoption with regard to Bitcoin and exactly where you are in that curve. Because here's the thing. You are not late. Everybody's like, oh, I'm late to the party. It's already $35,000, yada, yada, yada. Here's a news flash. When everything goes on, and again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, old guy, interwebs. But like when everything happens, the Bitcoin ETF approvals, which I'm still of the mindset that those things are that those approvals are going to come before the beginning of 2024. So I've got about 7 more weeks left to this year. So we'll see if I'm right or not. And also like the Bitcoin halving right now around beginning of April, the price of Bitcoin is just going to go crazy. Now, does that mean it isn't going to fall back at some point? Of course not. It could. And honestly, there might be some whales there trying to manipulate it. So when the ETFs do happen, they're getting in at a lower price. It's possible. Bottom line is, it doesn't matter. If you're dollar cost averaging, which I did today, for those of you who join me, Crypto on the Rocks, you get to vote for what we dollar cost average into every week. And I did that DCA today. You guys vote on Friday, I DCA on Wednesdays, and bam, I've already done it for today. So we'll be talking about that Friday night, 7 p.m. Make sure you're there. But if you're doing dollar cost averaging into cryptocurrency, you don't care what the hell the price of Bitcoin is. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter because you're going to be averaging in, right? Okay. So shall we get to it? Let's see what's going on. Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to do that just yet. What we're going to do is take a look at the markets first. So let me get that up on the screen here for you. All right. And there we go. Let me refresh that page a little bit. That way we're getting the most accurate pricing. Matter of fact, let's make that full screen so you can see even better. There you go. All right, let's take a look, see what's going on right now. So we got Bitcoin at 35,279, and that price has been kind of going up and down a little bit. When I was doing my dollar cost averaging, it was around 35.4. So I probably should have waited and got a got a little bit of better pricing in Bitcoin. But right now, 35,279, so about 35,280. Blah. Okay, that's all I got. Sorry. Ethereum in at 1883. When we were here on Monday, it was just over 1900. So still in that 1900 range. So not too shabby. BNB 245. XRP. Everybody loves XRP. And frankly, it's doing well. It's getting some adoption. It's starting to get love now that the just about everything is settled with the SEC. So 68 cents, basically up 14.5% in the last 7 days. That's insane, man. That's insane. Solana still doing well, 42.62. It's, again, I'm not a fan of Solana. We talked about it yesterday. If you watched the Matrix Money podcast, Jar was talking about that and how he got in at the top. Sorry, Jar, but hopefully you'll get better pricing here. All right, what we got here? Techman TV. He said, bleh. Fitting free. Sorry. Yeah. Awesome. Appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that like button. Appreciate it. That's awesome. And yes, for ETH, since ETH has gone to proof of stake, I am I've lost my interest in Ethereum. But it'll be something we do dollar cost average into at some point in the future on Crypto on the Rocks. So again, make sure that you are in for that live stream. Let's get this thing back full screen and keep zipping through the market action really quick. Cardano, big fan of Cardano, up 22.9% in the last week. So 23% in the last week. And the pricing shows it. I mean, when I just DCA, because Cardano is one of the items that you guys voted on dollar cost averaging into on Crypto on the Rocks, I got it at around 36 cents. So it's definitely up there. It was like not even 2 weeks ago, Cardano was down at around 26 cents. So price action crazy for Cardano. Dogecoin, again, I'm not a fan of Dogecoin, but it's even doing pretty well, almost 12% up in the last 7 days. Chainlink, I do like Chainlink, I do. They've had some good partnerships. They're on a steady incline right now, up 28% in the last 7 days. 28%. That's absolutely crazy, but I like it. Chainlink, for those of you who follow my blog and so on, matter of fact, CryptoCoinMindSet.com, head on over there. You will see in the initial crypto portfolio, Chainlink's part of that initial crypto portfolio. Go ahead and check that out. Polygon Matic, another one, up almost 24% in the last week. I do like Polygon. I think there's a big future for Polygon. Polkadot, I'm not against Polkadot. I have no investment in Polkadot whatsoever. It has a lot of good supporters. Matter of fact, if you are all about Polkadot, throw it in the live chat. Want to hear about that. But right now, Polkadot up about 14.5% over the last 7 days. I like Litecoin for what it's meant to be. Oh, see? And after all that, I forgot to get Litecoin again while I was in there DCAing. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go back and do that because I pay for stuff with Litecoin instead of using my Bitcoin. I hodl my Bitcoin long term. So, but Litecoin up 10%. Bitcoin Cash, another one. It's what it's meant to be used for, to buy crap that you want to buy with Bitcoin. You use Bitcoin Cash. It's up over 2%. AVAX, another one of the cryptos on the initial crypto portfolio. big fan of AVAX, up 16.5% in the last 7 days. Everything doing great in the last 7 days. Now, here we go. Stellar. I did DCA into Stellar because that was the second item you guys picked for DCA on Crypto on the Rocks last week, and DCA'd into that today. And yeah, Stellar doing well, up almost 6% in the last 7 days. Check out Monero. You guys know for privacy coins, I like Monero, down over 2% over the last 7 days. And you know what? I look at it this way. I mine Monero, so just makes my Monero more valuable if the price keeps going down, and it's a good buy if you ask me. I do want to check HBAR also, one of the options you have for dollar cost average in on Crypto on the Rocks. Up 16%. If all goes well, I'll be recording a video right after this live stream that involves HBAR, and will eventually lead to showing you how to stake your HBAR and earn some higher rewards and some additional rewards for doing so. So be on the lookout for that. A couple other things. Let's go down. VeChain up 18.2%. VeChain on a tear over the last week. Some big news coming out with VeChain, and we're not going to cover that today. Maybe I'll make another video about that. But VeChain's always been one of my favorites. Don't hold any more VeChain at this point. But at one point, I was actually actively trading VeChain. So yeah, I like VeChain. Caspa, if you guys were on the podcast yesterday, Matrix Money podcast, you sat there and you listened to Jar tell you that he finally ROI'd on his KS0 miner, and that was mostly because of the price increase action in Caspa. So hey, good for him. Link to his channel is also in the description of this live stream. So make sure you go, if you're not following him already, go follow Crypto Jar. And he actually just put out the video. I asked him about it in the live stream if he was going to put out a video updating his ROI, and he actually did that after the live stream yesterday. So go ahead, go check that out and get updated with regard to that. Finally, we're going to talk about Quant, because again, Quant, another one that you can vote to dollar cost average into, and Crypto on the Rocks. And right now, $103, which is kind of where it's been back hovering. I mean, it's been up, it's been down, it's been up, it's been down, but right around that $103 mark, it's been pretty steady. It's up 3.1% in the last 7 days. But again, it's not so much about that. The fact of the matter is, I see Quant, another one with huge future with regard to what's going to be happening, integrating TradFi, the banks, and into the DeFi space. All right, markets are looking pretty good. But what do you think about Bitcoin's journey? Let's take a look at who's talking and dispelling some myths about Bitcoin. I mean, it was all over. If you're on Twitter and you follow things on crypto Twitter, you've probably already seen this information, but here you go. Fidelity Investments basically put out a report dispelling 9 of the most common Bitcoin criticisms and misconceptions. And we'll go through them really quick to give you some idea of what that report contained. I mean, but this is huge. I mean, we have been, for how long have we seen investment firms, banks, various 3-letter agencies such as, the WEF and the IMF and so on, poo-poo all over Bitcoin and try to strangle people from being able to get into Bitcoin? And in some parts of the world, that is still the case. I mean, here in the US, luckily, knock on wood, we are still able to go and make those investments, but it's not for a lack of trying. with regard to choke point 2.0 and all the other regulations and executive orders put out by the FJB administration. So, yeah, get it while the getting is good and get it off the exchanges and into your own cold storage wallet. Again, here, we'll pull it off because I got it right here, all ready to go. You know I do, because it's what I use now. This is my new favorite wallet. How about if I do that? My new favorite wallet, Tangem. Now, this is still the old wallet. The new wallet is on its way. When it gets here, I'm going to do an unboxing and a setup. The new wallet, the Tangem 2.0, allows you to be able to set your get your seed phrase out. With regard to these wallets, and again, its primary way and why I like this Tangem wallet is because in order for mass adoption to take place, things have to come easy. People have to be able to easily get their crypto into a wallet. And I'll tell you what, combination of security and ease with regard to Tangem wallet, like the perfect combination. So again, if you're looking for a hardware wallet, I am always going to suggest Tangem. Matter of fact, I don't promote Ledger anymore. I do sometimes put Trezor out there because I know I've got a lot of Trezor fans. But to be completely honest with you, I've pretty much relegated myself as far as cold storage wallets are concerned. Cold wallets, hardware wallets. Tangem. Watch for the new videos coming out for Tangem wallet. But get your crypto off the exchange once you do it and get it into cold storage. Okay, cold storage. All right, let's get back to this. Note or report by Fidelity. So now here we are. We've got Fidelity, one of the biggest asset managers in the country, putting together a report that addresses a lot of the common concerns and misconceptions around Bitcoin. And right here, financial services giant Fidelity addressed 9 of the common concerns of Bitcoin criticisms and misconceptions, emphasizing that some of them are either unfounded or unlikely to be a concern. Okay? Crazy. It's about damn time. Let's take a quick scroll down through, and Bitcoin.com put this together pretty well. But let's take concern numero uno. The first criticism of Bitcoin is that it is too volatile to be a store of value. Fidelity explained that Bitcoin's volatility is a trade-off for perfect supply, inelasticity, and an intervention-free market. However, the greater adoption of Bitcoin and Bitcoin-related derivatives and investment products, Bitcoin's volatility will continue to decrease as history has shown. And that is 100% true. 100% true. Have you noticed even now with the amount of Bitcoin being hodled long term, like Bitcoin that has not moved in wallet addresses is at an all-time high. The amount of Bitcoin on cryptocurrency exchanges is at an all-time low. And the number of Bitcoin addresses, again, all-time high. Why do you think that is? Because as we talked about in the other in a previous live stream I didn't put the link in the description of this, but you can go on my YouTube channel and find it, where Larry Fink, we talked all about Larry Fink, who we addressed it in the last live stream on Monday. Basically, he was calling it Bitcoin as a means for money laundering, and now he calls it a flight to quality. And he isn't the only one. There are plenty of people. We're talking multimillionaires, some of the richest people in the United States, sitting there who are taking a second look at Bitcoin. And no, I'm not talking about Warren Buffett. I honestly don't think he could wrap his head around Bitcoin, but that's a whole nother thing right there. Anyway, who are also agreeing that Bitcoin has become and is becoming a flight to safety, a quality investment item in the level of gold and silver and so on. Speaking of gold and silver, you should diversify your portfolio. If you're looking to do that, I suggest Acre Gold. I was just talking to Philip about that. He's starting his journey soon on that regard. And if you don't know who that is, Crypto on the Rocks, Friday, 7 p.m. and you'll see. But listen, for as little as $50 per month, you can DCA, dollar cost average, into gold and have it delivered direct to your door. Link to do that in the description of this live stream. Go check that out. But I'm not trying to get too far off track. Let's get back on here what Fidelity has to say. So that's number one. And the volatility, the more people are hodling Bitcoin, okay. There is a possibility with the idea that a lot of people are hodling Bitcoin, the actual liquid market for trading and buying and selling of Bitcoin is going to be extremely small, which could increase the volatility. However, I'm of the supposition that, especially once all these ETFs get approved, where it's going to be more hodling, I'm thinking that that kind of level of volatility that we are used to, especially after a halving. So, it goes up to Bitcoin's previous history is it goes up to an all-time high, draws back about 85%, and then everybody's like, they think the world is ending. I don't see that kind of volatility being something that will show itself in the market. Again, like I mentioned in the beginning of this live stream, could Bitcoin go down? Of course it could. But I'm thinking that even if it does, which personally I'm not of the mindset that it's going to, but that's just me. And when I say that, I'm talking like down back in the 20s again, or down near 20K. And you still got people out there, if you and some of these messages, well, I'll tell you, some people are, yeah. Anyway, you still got some people out there that think Bitcoin's going down to like 10K. I'm telling you straight, that ain't happening. That's not happening. In my humble opinion, again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, old guy on the interwebs. All right, let's get to point number 2 right here. The second criticism is that Bitcoin has failed as a means of payment. Fidelity pointed out, contrary to what some people think, data from Coinmetrics shows significant transaction volume on the Bitcoin network, with more than $3.1 trillion in transactions settled, which is just under 40% of what MasterCard processed in the last year. This presents a lower bound for Bitcoin's use as a means of payment. Now, I'm assuming that's going against base layer, okay, the base blockchain. But when you start considering the Lightning Network, for example, which makes Bitcoin payments like damn near instant, and we're going to actually take a look at that in a little bit, because I said I was going to show you some examples. We're going to watch a young lady use Lightning and Bitcoin to buy some coffee. So again, the use case is there. The use case is growing. And I think that we are going to see more and more of that as the adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency increases. Happens to be here that we're talking about Bitcoin. So we'll try and keep it on the straight and narrow here. The third concern or criticism that they highlight here states that Bitcoin is wasteful and or bad for the environment. Oh God, I'm so sick of this argument. Fidelity responded, most Bitcoin mining is powered by renewable energy or energy that would be otherwise wasted. Additionally, the energy the Bitcoin network does consume is arguably a valid and important use of resources. I'm including you in this because this is something I've talked about in other live streams. I've put it out in videos and a lot of shorts recently, actually. And I got a couple more coming out over the next week or so. So watch for those, where I talk about Bitcoin mining being used as a way to set up infrastructure in rural areas like in Africa and so on and so forth. And I can't take the credit for this. A lot of this research, for example, and putting it all together was done by Mark Moss. Link to his channel in the description below. If you do not follow him, you should follow him. He is much more eloquent about it than I am. He is definitely a better presence on the camera than me. So go follow him. But there's that. And then we talk about using Bitcoin mining in Texas. I mean, that's been in the news now for how long, where they've used Bitcoin miners to help stabilize the power grid. When, these peaker plants that they got going in Texas are like just going hog because there's a real need for electricity. These Bitcoin miners can just shut down and there's uninterrupted power. When the power needs have abated, guess what? Bang, you can turn those miners back on and now the power grid's back and stable again. We've seen that happen all the time. We've also seen, and I don't think it's one of the ones I have for you to see, but I did, if you follow me on Twitter, I do have it on my profile. I retweeted it about an entire Bitcoin mining farm near a flaring facility. So they're capturing that flared gas that would otherwise just be burned off into the atmosphere, and they're using it to power Bitcoin miners. So wasted energy, energy that is, otherwise already made and existing, that's going to go to waste, being used by Bitcoin mining. So the environmental argument with regard to mining Bitcoin is bull. And if there have been recent reports even that having fiat money, so actual physical fiat money, is actually worse for the environment with the printing of it, the transportation of it, the storing of it, and so on and so forth, than Bitcoin mining. Go Google that up and figure that out for yourself. I didn't bring that here to this particular argument. All right. The fourth criticism is that, let's go all the way down here, is that Bitcoin will be replaced by a competitor. Fidelity emphasized that Bitcoin makes trade-offs for core properties that the market deems valuable. And they went on to say, while Bitcoin software is open source, it may be forked and improved upon. Its community of stakeholders, and they outline those right here: users, miners, validators, developers, etc., and network effects cannot be so easily replicated, which is part of what makes Bitcoin immutable, right? The blockchain immutable. I'm very happy that this information, okay, let's be honest. People like myself who have been in the space, this long, and are trying to educate everybody, especially newer people coming into the cryptocurrency space, it's difficult. They hear these criticisms and these statements from what are considered reputable sources, and it's like, why would you believe me? Hey, sometimes I don't believe me. But anyway, you people just like, you're full of shit. What are you? You're just saying that because you have Bitcoin, you want it to go up, you want to sell it, blah blah blah. Newsflash: I really don't want to sell my Bitcoin. So just so that's out there. Anyway, so it's nice to see that the someone with at least a somewhat of a reputation like Fidelity is sitting here putting out this information. All right, let's take a quick look at number 5. We're going to kind of step it up here a little bit. The fifth criticism is that Bitcoin is not backed by anything. Well, neither is the US dollar, unless of course you're going to consider the military, but at this point we can't even afford to do much more with that, because guess what? We're too busy paying the interest payments on our debt. Okay, get back to this. Not backed by anything. However, Fidelity argued Bitcoin is not backed by cash flows, industrial utility, or decree like fiat. Bitcoin is backed by code, brought to life by its stakeholders' social contract. Guess what? Something holds value if it holds value to people. You know, it's like, think about it, trading like a baseball card or whatever. If nobody wants to pay the price you want for that, it has no value. Same thing with fiat. Yeah, by decree, the government says you will use the US dollar. Okay, great. But at the end of the day, if everybody stopped using the US dollar, what's the government going to do about it? Not a damn thing, because everybody would be using something else that they could not control. So the fact of the matter is that Bitcoin is backed not only by the code, that's its base layer, that's what gives it its uniqueness, it gives it its resiliency, which gives it its ultimately helps to give it its price action because of its limited supply. But it is also given value by you and I and those that hold it and use it. Fact of the matter, I don't care how you slice it, how you dice it. All right. I just want to highlight this because it didn't go through the other ones here, but right here. Let's cap with this, and then we're going to move on. The next 4 criticisms and misconceptions were not addressed by the firm in 2020. Fidelity cautioned, we believe that there are few legitimate concerns that have some, if even small, probability of occurring, and therefore investors should be aware. And you know what? We're gonna, you know, people could lose interest, yada yada yada. The point, excuse me, dang, allergies are kicking my butt right now. The point of the matter is that here you have a huge financial service provider who is all about dispelling the myths, misconceptions, and otherwise about Bitcoin. And this is just another look at that right here. Fidelity Digital Assets Revisiting Persistent Bitcoin Criticisms. That's what the name of that particular report was. I mean, sorry, you've got some credibility here. And let's be honest, it's not just them. The fact that you've got all these people filing for these Bitcoin ETFs, so on and so forth. Guess what? Why do you think that is? Eventually, they know the US dollar's collapsing. It's, you know, yeah, there might be a CBDC interim in there, and I think they're going to want to make a CBDC in there. And we've talked about that on numerous occasions, not where I really want to take this particular live stream right now. But the only way to be around and outside of that is by having a means to be outside of that. Hence, I keep talking about DCAing, dollar cost averaging, into Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and of course, gold. Again, links to everything in the description below. But right here, we'll go right here. Fidelity Digital Assets. Bitcoin is an emerging store of value undergoing financialization because remember, it's still being adopted, right? And is in the process of cementing its status as a store of value. Every day that the SEC loses in court, every day that more companies, governments, countries, businesses, whatever, allow Bitcoin to be used or maybe make it legal tender, the more solidified Bitcoin and cryptocurrency becomes to the next generation of the economy globally. Facts. I know people will argue those facts, but then I'm glad that you got people like Fidelity here who are pushing back on some of those misconceptions. So I told you to kind of prove my point. Here we go. Buying Starbucks with Bitcoin, and this happens to be in El Salvador. And El Salvador, again, country that has adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. Bam. Okay, there you go. Done. Take your coffee now. I mean, how how quick was that right there? That was literally seconds on the Lightning Network. Or remember, they're using the Lightning Network for these transactions, and legal tender. Don't need to use the US dollar. You can do it instantly right there with your phone. Boom. Have some Starbucks. This is not just happening in El Salvador. I know this particular one that I chose to put up here and talk about is in El Salvador. And I did that on purpose because, again, El Salvador, first country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender. Bitcoin and the US dollar, legal tender in that state. What we got? Jar! How's it going, brother? Glad to see you can make it at least into the chat. That's awesome. And yes, that transaction is a beautiful transaction. I mean, how long was that? That was like literally seconds, and boom, done. You can take your Starbucks now. Personally, I don't like Starbucks. I mean, I know I might get some flack here in the in the comments section because I know Starbucks has a following, but I can't stand Starbucks. But Jar, yes, thank you for joining me, man. I appreciate having you here. And again, for those who want to follow Crypto Jar, link to his channel in the description below. Don't forget, Tuesdays, 10 a.m., Jar, myself, and Financial Failure live on the Matrix Money Podcast channel. Appreciate having Jar here. Thanks, man. But yeah, here we go. I picked this particular transaction on purpose to just kind of prove my point with regard to the adoption twofold. One, that you've got this as an active legal tender in this country that it's being used in. That's first. And second, the fact that literally within seconds. So you're going into whatever your favorite coffee place is. Again, I know mine ain't Starbucks, but you're going into your favorite coffee place. You want to buy, in this case, your Starbucks. Zip and bang, boom, couple of presses of the button. And guess what? Here you are buying your coffee with Bitcoin. It proves the adoption level is increasing. And again, you take to the fact that you've got these places like Fidelity now who are putting out reports to debunk, dispel all the misinformation, all of the criticisms of Bitcoin. They're taking the time to do that. Why? Again, because they see what's coming. They know that they can't sidestep this system. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was meant to disrupt the banking system. So either they adapt or they get disrupted. So the fact that you have, again, like we talked about on Monday, banks can't even get their damn ACHs straight. Deposits are getting frozen up on Friday. Reports all over the place about that. But beyond that, now you've got major investment funds like Fidelity, BlackRock, ARK Invest, looking for spot Bitcoin ETFs because they know this is the future. Then you've got people like Larry Fink. Again, we talked about this on Monday, who are originally, like in 2015, was saying, yeah, Bitcoin is for money laundering. And now, like we talked about in a previous live stream to that, guess what? It's a flight to quality. Well, why do you think that is? Because they know they can't disrupt it. It's going to disrupt them. And if they don't get on board, they're going to lose out. Simple. I see a lot more people kind of jumping in the live stream. I appreciate you being here. If you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick that bell icon, click the all so you know when I go live and put out great video content. I really appreciate that, trying to get the channel count up to over 1,000. So I appreciate your help with that. Share too, because that will be quite helpful. And if nothing else, smash those likes, smash them up. I appreciate it. And I really appreciate that. It'll help with the algorithm. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. Excuse me. All right. So I promised I was going to show you, and this is a simple adoption curve kind of thing right here. But and again, links to all of this are in the description below. You know, you hear everybody, and I, you know, when the price action on Bitcoin really becomes prominent and starts getting active, you hear yeah, you got to get in touch with. I love that. Techman is referring to the live stream yesterday, Money Matrix podcast, and a giveaway that Financial Failure is going to be doing on his channel. So again, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to his channel as well. He's going to be giving away 5,700. Go. I think it's his next live stream, he said. So go follow his channel so you can have an opportunity to get that. Yeah, exactly. And we had so much interaction, and that's, I think, part of what Jar is laughing about here. We had so much interaction on our live stream on the Money Matrix podcast yesterday because Crypto Jar did a giveaway of a weather miner, and it was like people everywhere, and the live chat was just going nuts. It was, I mean, I couldn't even keep up with it. It was kind of funny. So yeah, and a lot of it was about the giveaway. Obviously, giveaway. Hey, people always give it to me, baby. You know. So anyway, you gotta definitely. There it is. Thank you, Jar. I appreciate that. I knew it was coming up soon. So Financial Failures channel live stream this coming Sunday. I think it's at 10 at night, 10 p.m. if I remember correctly. And follow him. That's when he's going to give it away. Show the man some love. And maybe you get yourself a little something free from Financial Failure. All right. So let's bring this back up. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make this full screen real quick, so it's a little easier for you to see. People all the time are like, oh, $35,000 Bitcoin already. I mean, oh my goodness, I'm late to the game. Oh, blah, blah. Well, you might be late to the game in the sense that, yeah, the likelihood of you getting another $3,000 Bitcoin or $5,000 or $7,000, $10,000 even Bitcoin is very low, if non-existent. So, okay, I'll give you that. However, when you take into account what's going on with the level of adoption, where we're at with the overall adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency into the global economy, you are so early to the game. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So again, here you go in this chart. It kind of breaks it down here. These are your innovators, your people that you know, the cypherpunks and all that kind of thing, who are all about it because, you know, it's more geeky. And then you got your early adopters, and that's where people like me are here, and, you know, see the potential of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and what it can do to maintain your autonomy, your freedom, and help get you out of the rat race that is this current financial system, and help to protect you and your wealth as this system just collapses down on itself. Because again, we see it happening, like I talked about on Monday. The latest thing, you know, ACHs, the Fed can't run the ACHs, and people's deposits were delayed. Why? Because shit's falling apart. It's that simple. The shit is falling apart. The system is coming to its end. And so the early adopter phase, and then the early majority. Now, this is where you're going to start to see and hear and everything about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. It's going to be your ETFs. It's going to be all this stuff that's just going to inundate people. And no matter what, you are going to have to, and you're going to feel the pressure to somehow be involved with, be invested in, to be part of this adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. That's what's coming. And at that point, that's when you're going to see the major price action. That's when you're going to see all new all-time highs. That's when you're going to see prices like you see some of these predictions like from Kathy Wood from ARK Invest and so on, who are talking $500,000 Bitcoins, $1 million Bitcoin, and so on. That's where that kind of price action is coming in. And, you know, now when you got to worry about being late to the party, I guess, for lack of better term, is when you get in here, the late majority, because that's when, okay, the majority of people have already started to adopt it. It's hit its highs. It's probably stabilizing in price at that point, and so on and so forth. And then you got the after people who are just so late to the game that like, yep, you missed it. You missed it. So listen, if you are here and you are new to cryptocurrency and to Bitcoin, realize that you are still early. You are still here with plenty of time to get in, start hodling, and make potentially life-changing wealth. Not just for you, but for your family. So that's it. That's what I got. Check the comments real quick. Chat. Anybody else? No, not yet. No. You guys went silent on me. What the hell? All right. That's okay. I basically hit all the points I want to hit. If you got a question, pump it in there. I'll try and get to it before this live chat is over. This live stream is over. And yeah, because after this, you know what's next. This is it for this. It is Crypto on the Rocks next Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Bring your favorite drink, and we will bring you on board. You run the show on Fridays, and we'll talk crypto, whatever it is you want to talk about crypto. Driving. I understand. Be safe. Okay with you listening, but yeah, you kind of got to pay attention to the road. But I appreciate you being here. I really do. Thank you very much for joining me today on this live stream. So, like I said, that's going to pretty much wrap it for today. I appreciate everybody being here. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're new, click the bell icon. That way you get notified every time I go live. Right now, live Monday, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Crypto on the Rocks. That's when we'll see you next. And Tuesdays, Matrix Money Podcast, 10 a.m. Eastern. Myself, Jar, and Financial Failure. Jar, if you're still here, thank you for being here and in the chat today. Appreciate that, brother. And I'll talk to you and look forward to seeing you soon. Hopefully, I'll see you even for a little while on Crypto on the Rocks Friday. I know it's your son's birthday. You do what you got to do. Family first, man. Family first. All right. That's going to do it. Again, appreciate everybody being here. I hope you have a great day. Tech guy, be careful driving. And I will see you guys Friday, 7 p.m.